I
Normally,
They're
one time like
fighting
that,
on
you
my
just
yard.
like a
They
drive-by
messed up my
what is
at
it,
it,
BB
cable
but we
gun?
box.
And
actually
I thought,
had
my name is Cherie Eggleston, and I live in unincorporated Travis County, east of Austin.
Norma Garcia. I live in Los Cielos subdivision in Del Valle.
my name is Richard Franklin. I live in the northern part of Del Valle.
My name is Veronica VAZQUEZ, and I live in the Los Cielos community.
The time that I have needed law enforcement, we call them and say, hey, we have kids on our property.
We had I call it like a drive-by, what is it, BB gun deal happening at our park.
So I called law enforcement, believing that I had a possible intruder.
We have county sheriffs in our area. Part of Del Valle is actually in the city proper. So they have APD.
I usually call is 911. And when I call 911, it connects me to the county. And they said, fire, police, or ambulance. And I said, well, I need the city.
I call the general 911 number, and then they send me over to a different, I don't know, they ask me, where are you located? And I tell them Del Valle, and they switch me over, and then I have to explain the whole story again. And I honestly don't know where they switch me to, but whoever they are, they take 2 to 3 hours to come out here and even just evaluate a situation.
There's just a lag that takes time. Like by then, the kids are gone.
I called Travis County Sheriff's Department. It took them 30 minutes before they arrived at my home.
Normally there are 2 or 3 sheriffs in the area. So, they're patrolling out here.
I at the time I was very nervous. I didn't realize that the response time would be so delayed. And I thought to myself, if there had been an intruder, he or she could have done any form of damage and already have left the scene before law enforcement even showed up.
It was just like brushed off. Like, if it's not happening right now in this instant, we can't help you.
I try not to call the police because it's just a lost cause with them. They don't do anything. They don't show up, for one. And then, so what I do is I post to as many social media platforms as possible.
Ways that I've tried to handle issues since response times are slow are, of course, like utilizing my cameras, if they're in working condition, but also communicating with neighbors who have cameras.
Community policing works. Men and women stepping up to the plate works. What doesn't work is having a police officer doing a citizens on patrol meeting, walking the door and saying, we come in hot.
I have since installed security cameras, and I have obtained license to carry training.
Law and order doesn't provide for a safe and secure community. It's an after the fact process. We need more mental health care specialists. We need more healthcare specialists. We need more environmental health care. We need other issues to be taken care of to make our community safe.
What I'd like to see change here is more police presence or a substation.
I would like them to respond faster to these situations.
If we already have, a lot of law enforcement officials in the area and they're just slow in responding, then the answer, of course, is not to hire more law enforcement.
Law enforcement is part of the equation. But even that is a misnomer, because law enforcement just depends on where you want to enforce your laws and what laws you want to enforce. That's a problem.
They took so long to respond. It made me aware that I am going to be responsible for my own protection.